Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to be profiling my favorite deck of all time. Now, if you guys have not been on this channel for a long time, you may not know my favorite deck. I've mentioned it a couple times, but we are going to do a deck update of my favorite deck, that being GK's, Gravekeepers. So without further ado, we'll get into the Gravekeeper deck profile. Now this is prior to whatever ban list we're supposed to get in August or July. So if one does appear, I will mention in this video some of the things you could change around depending upon what gets hit or not. And if Gravekeepers get more support off the ban list, Royal Tribute, I'm a GK fan for life, I always love that card. But if that ever does come back like it is in the OCG at 3 of, I will definitely do an update of this right away. But without further ado, let us get started on my favorite deck. So first off, your 3 Gravekeeper Spy. Gravekeeper Spy is the backbone of any GK deck. Yes, it may be slow because it's a flip effect, but believe me, this card is your backbone and your power play is the power play of your deck. So 3 GK Spy. That 25 booty with Necro Valley, man. Next we got 3 Gravekeeper's Recruiter. Now, Gravekeeper's Recruiter is your Witch of the Black Forest for the deck. It helps you search out just about any combo piece you need. If you don't have a Necro Valley, you search out your Gravekeeper's Commandant. If you need to go over a big monster, usually you can search out Gravekeeper's Assailant, and so forth and so on, depending upon the situation, pretty much. He's a 17 beater with Necro Valley on the field, which is respectable to some extent for doing some damage. So yes, one of the best combo plays of the deck is the one that Frazier used to do back in the day. I remember when he and his buddies talked YCS Atlanta back in the day, but pretty much you can go set the Spy, flip up the Spy, bring out a Recruiter, normal summon Descendant, or if you have the Recruiter in hand, you special summon a Descendant, normal summon the Recruiter. You get 2 pops on the field and you get a search. So that's something you can do. But your 3 Recruiter. Then we run your 3 Commandant. Now, even though I'm running the Card Demise version of the deck, so I am running 2 Card Demise. Card Demise at the time of me making this video has not been hit, but I'm running 2 of it because 3 was getting a little bit too much personally. Because I don't run like a super high trap count. I only run like I think 10 traps, so it was getting kind of clunky there. But Commandant is really putting a lot of work right now as a 3 of in my deck, especially because I'm running a said card, Hidden Temples of the Necro Valley. Now this came out in Laval with a long time ago with some new updated Gravekeeper support like 3 years ago. And at the time I didn't like it, and throughout Gravekeeper's history I have still not liked it, but as time has gone on, I have felt that this card has got a little bit more powerful over time. And so I thought it was about time to try to find a way to make my deck kind of revolve around this pseudo broken card I would say. It's a pretty good card. It is a Vandy's Emptiness really for GKs. More than 2 of I have found is too much, but the cool thing is if you first turn, so let's say you go in first and you just want to, you know, stun your opponent, because this version of my GK deck is a little bit more stunny. It does a little bit of stun to your opponent, and then you start, you know, going off after that. Is what you can do is very simple. You can discard your Commandant. Okay, so say you get double Commandant and a Hidden Temples of the Necro Valley in your opening hand. All right. So what you can do is discard this, okay, to the graveyard, get a Necro Valley, activate this, or normal summon this first, then activate this, excuse me, and then you have a 21 beater on the field, and your opponent can't special summon, and you can special summon GKs. That works pretty good as a first turn play. Yes, Twin Twister is a thing, I got it, but if they don't have the out, you know, there you go. You know, they're going to have a hard time getting around that, especially in today's game. So it's really good, and the fact that that play can work out in a whole bunch of different combinations, because you literally can go like Commandant, Necro Valley, Hidden Temples. But whatever the case is, your 3 Commandant, this is your terraforming. That's your terraforming right there. Next we got your 2 Descendant, 3 Descendant, too much. 2 Descendant is perfectly fine. 2000 beater. He can pop multiple Gravekeepers per turn, which made him broken back in the day, really, because it doesn't say once per turn. It says you can do it as many times, so that's why you can get that double pop, I call it. Next you run for one of your Gravekeeper's Assailant, known as Sheehan Killer. He can get around a whole bunch of different things. He does target, but he can get around it, and it's very useful still. Your 1 Gravekeeper's Heretic. And granted, this is not as good as it used to be now with Link monsters being a thing, which is kind of stupid, but it still helps get around big monsters. Heretic, it can be untargetable and works just as well as the Commandant's for Hidden Temples. Really does. For a first turn play, if you don't want to set the spy first turn, you just want to stun your opponent, then set the spy, and then start gaining advantage that way, which is something I've been trying. Just trying to play the deck a little bit differently, like I said. Next card we have is Gravekeeper Shaman. This card's really amazing if you can get it out with Hidden Temples of the Necro Valley on the field and Necro Valley, because they can't destroy the Necro Valley. So good. But I like it as a 1 of. I've seen people run it as a 2 of recently. You can run it as a 2 of, but I like it as a 1 of right now. Next Gravekeeper I run is 1 Gravekeeper's Nobleman. I don't like this card, okay? I'm going to say first off, I don't like it, but it's a good first turn play, alright? Especially if your opponent doesn't know you're playing GKs. So if, it's a good one of in the deck. It's good sometimes in the duel, but it's not amazing because your opponent has to destroy it by battle. And you can't suicide it or anything like that. They have to destroy it, which sucks, like bad. I hope they make an updated version of this card that's actually really good, that can be destroyed by battle or card effect. But till that day, I'm just going to run 1 of this. It helps get your spy out, which is the main play of your deck and your backbone of your deck. So I like it as a 1 of, but no more. And if it's dead, it's dead. So be it. But it does come in handy a lot. Then your last monster you run is your Max C, because it's Max C, and Max C is amazing. If Max C was to get hit, I would probably definitely run double Rite of Spirit. Rite of Spirit is a monster reborn. It can help you with combo plays with Descendant by bringing back a Recruiter, then popping, getting searching power going. So I would probably run double Rite of Spirit if Max C got banned. Next up, we run your triple Necro Valley. Now you may be wondering why my rarities are off. There's a reason. This Necro Valley here, this super one, I pulled out of a pack when I was a kid, and this led me to be playing this. I've had this Necro Valley ever since I built my first GK deck, way back in, like, what was it, Pharaonic Guardian, I think it was. So yeah, I've had this thing forever, and I've used it in side deck, techs, everything. But it's my lucky Necro Valley, so that's why it's a different rarity, if you've always wondered. But that's the history behind that Necro Valley. But 3 Necro Valley, your Heart and Soul. These are not the new errata versions, but the new errata is amazing because what it does pretty much is it allows your opponent can't move anything out of the graveyard, period. Now, Necro Valley is back to pretty much the original text, which I think is down here, but I don't want to spend time reading it. Pretty much Tree-Grown Frog doesn't work anymore from what I understand. Next we run 3 Pod Duality. Like I said, I'm running 2 card demises, so card demise and pod duality go together like peanut butter and jelly. So amazing. The 3 Pod Duality, it's always been a staple in the deck because the deck is slow, it helps you gain advantage, get traps, whatever. Next, 2 Hidden Temple of the Necro Valley. This allows your opponent not to special summon if you have a Necro Valley on the field and a face-up Gravekeeper monster. And if one of those leaves the field, this card is destroyed. So that does suck, but that's kind of like the same thing with Vanities. If you pop your own, if your Vanities is on the field and something gets destroyed and goes to the graveyard, then, well, your Vanities gets popped. So this is its pretty much own Vanities Emptiness, and like I said, I've never been a big fan of this card, but as time has gone on, I've felt like this card has gotten stronger and stronger, and now I'm running it in the deck, because I think it's a very good card as a 2 of in the deck. So 2 Hidden Temples of the Necro Valley. You could run 3, but I found 3 to be too much. Next, 2 Gravekeeper Stellae. You want to see this card after your first turn, because before your first turn, this card sucks. But it's a very good card. It pretty much is like a salvage or battery recycleman card. It allows you to add 2 Gravekeepers from your graveyard to your hand. I think it's up to, is it up to, I think? No, it has to be. It's mandatory too. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while. But yeah, 2 GKs. You want that as a 2 of. 3 of is too much. I've seen people run 1 of. I like 2 of. It's very good. Next we run 2 card demise. I tried 3 out, and I have 3, but 3 was getting a little bit too clunky. If card demise was to get hit down to 1 of guys, like I said, you could probably run Allure of Darkness, things of that nature. It just depends, and we don't have a ban list at the moment, so I'm just trying to give you suggestions. If another draw card we run in the deck is Upstart Goblin, a little bit more draw power, never hurt, so helps the deck out. Get to your trap lineups, get to your power plays, things of that nature. Next we run your 1 Royal Tribute, Konami. I know people out there hate this card, and I understand it's very powerful, but in the OCG for 2 years they've had this card at 3 of. This card's at 1 of still. Why? Why? I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Next we got Book of Moon and Raigeki. Book of Moon, I'm going to tell you a little story about Book of Moon here. I've been learning, playing in Link format, or the Link age. Okay, Book of Moon sucks. You can't use it against Link monsters. However, it's still multi-versatile to some extent. Because, remember, if they're trying to make a Link monster, they can't use a monster that's face down. So, if you know they are setting up for a Link play, guys, you know what you do? You Book of Moon one of their monsters, put it face down. Now they can't make that Link monster. Now they can't go off. You have set them back a turn, and that's a turn that you can use to turn the tide of battle. And Raigeki is amazing as well. So that's something about Book of Moon I've been learning, and how versatile it still can be. 1 Rite of Spirit, it's your Call of the Haunted, sort of, for your GKs, and it's not affected by Necro Valley. Like I said, you could run double of that. I've always gone back between running 1 of or 2 of that card. It's an amazing card. Next we run 2 Stormy Mirror Force. The reason I'm running Stormy is for a whole bunch of different reasons. Number 1, it's a good card. You don't want to run Drowning, you don't want to run Quaking, so Stormy Mirror Force works the best for you right now, especially in the Link era. Second off, if you have a board set up with a Hidden Temples of the Necro Valley, and you have Necro Valley on the field or something of this nature, because this would be something your opponent may try to do, definitely. Like, say you just have a Recruiter on the field, and you got the Temple up, but they didn't draw like the MST or the Twin Twister or whatever, okay? But they're going to try to run over your monster so you don't have a GK on the field, so this gets destroyed, right? So then they can special summon. So if they're attacking that monster, right, say they attack your Recruiter, then you go Storm and Mirror Force, bounce that card back to the hand. Now they still can't special summon because your Recruiter and Necro Valley are still on the field. So you're A-OK. So 2 Storm and Mirror Force, it helps you protect your monster if you're just trying to summon a monster to get that stun aspect of Temple. Number 2, it's just a good card overall, and it's non-targeting removal to some degree, especially if they're going for Link monsters with Synchros or Exceeds or whatever. Next we got 2 Imperial Tombs of the Necro Valley. You could run 3 of this, but this card's amazing as a 2 of. I've run this card as a 2 of since it came out. It's an amazing card. It stops, it's pretty much Solemn Judgment. It stops spell cards, trap cards, and monster effects. So it's amazing. All it requires is a Necro Valley on the field and a Gravekeeper and face-up attack, on the field as well. That's in face-up position. So it's still an amazing card. This card right here, I love it. Had those for ages. Next up, you have 2 Solemn Strikes and 1 Solemn Warning. Your Solemn Brigade, like I said, if this hits down to 1, other things you could run is Lost Winds or things of that nature. Lost Winds works out well in this deck too. It's actually something I was thinking of running until a couple of weeks ago when I was playing around with this deck, and I said, no, there's some other traps I could run instead. But if it was to get hit down to 1 of, Lost Winds is a card you can go with. Now on to the extra deck, which I do want to mention before I get to the extra deck, guys. You don't use the extra deck at all. Like, rarely will you use the extra deck, like 1 in a million. Not 1 in a million, but you won't use it that often. So your Skylar token, love my Skylar. Next we got number 66, Master Key Beetle. You will make this sometimes. Wind Up Zenmayo, this can help you reflip down your spy. Gaga Cowboy for game, which does happen. Your Utopia package, your Utopia, Utopia Prime, and Utopia the Lightning. Your Castell, your 101, your Tornado Dragon, your Diamond Dire. We still run the Diamond Dire because it can pop a monster, but this is better if you're popping back row. Your number 70, Malevolent Sins. Your number 103, Ragnar Zero. Your Giant Hand. And if some off chance you want to go for a level 3, you got your Phantom Knight of Break Sword. If. I've never gone for this, it's just there if. Because you do have a bunch of level 3s. So guys, that is the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. I love this deck to pieces, guys. It's my favorite deck of all time. I mean, it's not really affected by the link mechanic at all. Like, it just does its thing. It survives. It's a survivor. It's one of the oldest archetypes in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's always good. It's a good anti-meta stun aspect deck. And it will continue to be that way for the foreseeable future. However, I hope they get support in the future. It's been about 3 to 4 years since they've gotten support. Hopefully they get like 1 or 2 cards. I could definitely see this deck using a link monster. Yes, I know they the spy is going to be face down, but if the link marker required 2 GKs, you could easily go flip the spy. Okay, it survived. You flip it, get a recruiter, make a link monster that's requires 2 GKs, goes to the graveyard. You get the recruiter search, and now you got a link monster that can maybe do something. I don't know what it would do, but that's a possibility of something you could try out. And I would kind of look forward if they actually made a link monster. I've been thinking about that. Or a level 4 Exceed monster. I've been waiting for that for years. Because you can easily make rank 4s in this deck, but you choose not to because they're not GKs. So that sucks. But till next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. GKs for life, Holmes. And I'll see you guys later. Good luck dueling to all of you guys. I love GKs too much. I keep saying that in this video. I think I've said it like 5 times. But I do. Take care, guys.